Welcome to Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast for dreamers, doers, and everyday people making it happen. Whether you're building a business, a mindset, or a better version of yourself, this is your space to stay grounded, get inspired, and keep growing no matter how full your calendar gets. So if you're chasing your dreams and figuring it out as you go, this is your space to stay motivated and keep building. So tune in every week for new episodes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Booked, Busy, and Building. Today we are going to be talking all about why you should keep going all in on your dreams and your goals, because success is actually so easy nowadays because the competition is so low. A lot of us think that this idea of success that we dream of and that we really want is so far away, but the truth and the reality is that most people are not actually competing as hard as we think they are. And there is no one that is going to take the success that you want away from you, because there is so much room for all of us when it comes to anything it is that we want. The more reps that you put in, the more times that you get up and try again and fall and get up and do it all again, means that even when no one is looking, you are still putting in the time and the work, and you are closer to succeeding than probably anybody else. When you realize that so many people are looking for shortcuts, they're looking for easy ways out, or they're waiting for somebody to come and save them, you are then going to realize yourself that there is no need to rush or go as hard or try to get to that finish line as fast as it is that you want. Like, when you let go of that fear, I promise you, things are going to really lighten up and be so much easier for you, because when you take that first step, when you take that initiative and you realize like it's really just me and my dreams and my goals, everything becomes possible. And when you let go of that reality or that idea that you think your success is going to be taken away, so many things really start to open up for you. So for anyone that is listening to this episode that has a really big dream or goal or something that is on their mind, and sometimes you have a little bit of doubt and you don't know if you can do it, I want this episode to be the episode that you come back to when you are having those doubts, when you are having those low moments, because if there is one thing that I want you to get out of this episode, it is that it doesn't matter how crazy your dreams or your goals are. Look at what it is that you want to do, lock in, be serious about it, put in the reps, and I promise you, you can make it happen. So let's dive in. Before we fully dive into this week's episode, you guys know it's time for our weekly Booked, Busy, and Building check-in, which is something that we do at the beginning of every episode. So number one is, what opportunities are you stepping into this week, and how are you staying booked? So something that I am actually stepping into this week, which actually started last week, is I have really been trying to define what is my personal brand and what am I trying to become when it comes to my social media. Like, I feel like when I graduated college, I was having a really hard time navigating, like, who am I on the internet and who am I now as a content creator? Because it was so easy when I was in college to post a day in my life going to fashion school or doing things on campus and being a part of campus rep programs. But when I graduated college, it became really hard to find my footing, because not only was I trying to discover who I am and myself and what my next move is with my career, and also just things about me as a person, but I was also trying to figure out, like, where can my content go? And so I have really been trying to figure this out, like, over the last few years, which I know sounds really crazy, but you know, personal self-development, self-discovery, it's something that you are going to be on a journey for probably your entire life. And I am someone that I always want to keep learning. I always want to keep being better, and even 1% better than who I was yesterday. Some opportunities that I'm stepping into this week more specifically, and like how I am really staying booked, is really staying true to rebranding this new piece of content it is that I want to go towards. Like, I really want to rebrand myself, so more specifically on my TikTok and now on YouTube, and of course on my podcast, is to be that big sister that is here for you on the internet, like your ambitious big sister, to encourage you to go after your dreams and goals. Because not only am I a big sister in real life, like I have 2 younger siblings, a little brother and a little sister, but I want to encourage other people on the internet as well that whatever your dreams or goals are, you can make it happen and you can accomplish it. And I just want to be that person for you, even if you have no one in your life to be that person. So that is something I'm stepping into, is really focusing on almost this like rebrand of who am I in this new chapter. I'm going to be 24 next month. And I know that's probably not a big age to some people, but to me, I'm like, I cannot believe I am already going to be 24. Next year, I'm going to be 25. Then I feel like I'm going to be 30. So I'm just like, I want to step into this new chapter with my social media and who I am going to be online. Next is, what is taking up your time and energy right now, and what is keeping you busy? So kind of piggybacking a little bit off of number one is I am really focusing on my content and really going back to my roots and who I was in the beginning. So when I first started social media, which was right when I graduated high school in 2020, those first 2 years, like 2020 through 2022, I was doing school online. I was doing college online. It was really weird. Like I had no prom. I had a drive through graduation. Like it was just a really big pivotal, like couple of years, like figuring out my footing and learning college and commuting into the city of New York when we were finally able to go in person. And when I entered college versus when I left, like I really was two completely different people. And I realized like now that there were so many things when I first started my content journey in that moment that I want to go back to now. Like, for example, I learned to be comfortable in front of the camera and I learned to talk about different topics and do different things. And I really want to go back to that because I realized like I am actually not that good at talking straight to the camera. Like there are so many people that can just put up their phone and film a get ready with me. They can just be super natural. And I feel like I have such a hard time doing that sometimes, which is why I love voiceovers or other different kinds of content. But I realized that is something I want to work on. So I am really focusing on using my time and energy wisely now to go into things that are worth my time and learning new skills or even freshening up on skills. Like I'm good with content, I'm good at editing, I'm good with working with brands, but I really want to kind of beef up a little bit and like get better at talking to the camera. Something that I'm intentionally working towards for my future self in building, this is question number 3, is I am really focusing on who I want to be in the future. Like I really feel like the person that I envision of being in the next 5 to 10 years, it really starts now. And that can go with anything, like whether you want a new career in a few years or you want to start a new project and you want it to grow within the next few years, like whatever it is, I really feel like I'm working towards being this more mature version of myself that is letting go of the end result so bad and just focusing on the now and being grateful for the now, doing things right now and just really putting one foot in front of the other. Because when I get so focused on the result and wanting the end goal so bad, and that's all that I think about all day and night, that is just something that, like, if anything, I feel like it pushes you further from what it is that you want if that's all that you are doing all the time. I've always had that problem specifically with money because I have student loans and that is a debt that I carry with me every single day. It is literally like a weight on my shoulders that is so hard for me some days because I'm like, I need to find a way to pay off this debt and all these kinds of things. And so when I really detached myself from making everything like super financial and being like, I need to make money, I need to wake up and make money and all these different things, I feel like that is when money started coming to me more because I really detached myself from that end result so bad. And so I'm really intentionally working towards detaching from these end results and just focusing on how I can be a better me every single day. So those are my long-winded little booked, busy, and building check-in questions. But without further ado, let's get into the episode. Tip number 1 is most people are playing at 60% and they call it their best. I needed to make this tip number 1 because, like I said in the intro for this episode, a lot of us think that there are so many people out there that are trying to take our throne, that are trying to get to where we are and they're trying to take over. And I think when you really narrow it down and like you really, really, really think about it, I don't think there are as many people doing what they say that they want to do. And you know what? Maybe that can even be a wake-up call for yourself where you think that you are putting so much time and effort into what it is that you want, but at the end of the day, maybe it's just busy work. Maybe it's just something in your mind that you think you're doing to get closer to what it is that you want, but maybe it's not. And when I had that realization with myself, like I had this, actually very recently, I realized that there was this certain thing it was that I was doing with my personal work and Valdez Agency, which is my media company, that I realized like this is actually not getting me anywhere and I have been wasting my time doing this. Well, not wasting my time, but I have not really been getting to where I want to be with this specific thing it is that I'm trying to do. So I'm like, you know what? I am going to put a pin on this for right now. Just because something is not working right now, it does not mean that I'm not going to be able to pick up again on that thing in the future. And when I really put that into terms with myself and I realized that I don't need to be going full force in this thing right now, and there's other things that I can focus on. I really let go of that kind of ego that I had where someone else is going to come and do it before me, or someone else is going to be successful before me. There's a lot of people that were successful before me, and I am just it's okay, and I can let go from these certain things. And so a lot of people are actually not even playing at their fullest potential. And like I said, this can be a wake-up call for yourself, where you may even realize maybe I'm not playing at my full potential, or maybe I am putting too much time and energy into something that is not working, and maybe I need to get a new structure or get a new framework with what it is that I am doing. But the majority of people, unfortunately, this has a lot to do with also New Year's resolutions. People start their goals and they get uncomfortable, or it's not fun for them, or they don't want to do it anymore, or maybe it's harder than they thought, and then they quit and they never go back to it, or maybe they pick it up every once in a while and then they just never do it again. When you actually put one foot in front of the other and you do what you say you want to do and you set your mind to that thing, I promise you are going to make it to that finish line. And there's going to be other people that probably picked up the pen and put it down, and picked it up and put it down. But you picked up the pen, you never put it down. You just kept going in different directions and kept trying a million different things, and you figured out what worked. And that's the thing, is people want their success to be this straight, narrow path, and it's this is it, and this is going to be the thing that's going to get me to where I want to be. But success is non-linear. So many things in life are non-linear, and you're going to go through a million different paths before you get to where it is that you want to be. Because if life was that easy, we would all have everything it is that we want, and then there would be no challenges. We wouldn't have faced anything that would have made us a better, stronger, smarter individual, or a better person. If we just got everything it is that we wanted immediately, we would not be able to learn. We wouldn't go through hardships, and we wouldn't have lessons to tell and things that we've learned. And so try out things and don't give up, and keep pushing even when things are hard. Same thing with the gym. It's not going to be easy the first couple of times that you go. Same thing with running. It's not going to be fun the first few times you do it. If you want to be a better singer, you're not going to be good the first few times. If you want to be a better piano player, you are not going to be good, but you're gonna keep getting up and you're gonna keep trying, because that is doing more than what most people do. So when you actually show up every day and you don't give up immediately, and you are trying, even if it is a little bit harder, even if it's not working right away, you don't even realize it, but you are already ahead of most people, because a lot of people wouldn't even be willing to do that. Most people are more afraid of the embarrassment and the cost of that, but the cost to getting success is to be embarrassing a little, be a little bit cringe. Mr. Beast has this quote that I love, which is, first you're cringe, then you're successful, then you're a genius. That, unfortunately, is really just how life goes. And a lot of people are afraid for that cost of embarrassment to get to where it is that they want to be. But only you are making it that big in your head. You think that so many people are looking at you and judging you and think, how is she doing that? Or he's so embarrassing. He thinks he's going to be a content creator. He thinks he's going to be a streamer. She thinks she's going to be a fashion content creator. Whatever it is, people are not looking at you as much as you think they are. So just do your thing and try and get up again, because you are already doing more than most people. Tip number 2 is the real competition is yourself, not the crowd. So this is going a little bit off of tip number 1, but there are people that, when they are so focused on who is ahead of them and who can they beat and who can they be more successful than, they are, first of all, you're already focused on the wrong thing if you're just focusing on what other people are doing. But when you are so laser, that is it, and you're looking at what other people are doing and their next moves and all of this stuff, you are ignoring how much ground you have covered. You are ignoring your own progress because you are trying to one-up yourself because you're looking at what other people are doing. And I struggled with this a lot when it came to content creation and starting my business and Valdez agency. Is I looked at other people's numbers and their engagement and how their videos were performing and what they were doing. And when I tried to mold into what other people were doing, it just wasn't working, and my content did not feel like myself. And when I really molded back into who I am and tapping into my roots and doing content that I loved, but that I knew other people would also love, that is when things got so good for me. And that's when things really started to improve. And that's how so many other things happen in life. When you focus on yourself and what you want and what you want to do and what makes you happy, you are going to notice a difference. So the person who beats the version of themselves from 6 months ago, or whoever you were in the past, that is going to compound so much faster than somebody who is constantly looking at what other people are doing and chasing somebody else's highlight reel. Because on social media, I will say this myself as a content creator, like I only share the good parts of my life. I only share the highlights. Last week, I will be honest, was one of the hardest weeks that I've probably had this entire year. And it was hard. I did not talk about it on the internet. I didn't talk about it to anybody except like people in my personal life. People are not going to show those moments. And then here I am a week later getting up, filming my podcast, posting this online, talking about success and mindset and ambition. And it's like, no one would have thought that last week was a really hard week for me. And I was going through a series of ups and downs, and I still pushed through, and I filmed and I showed up in front of the camera. But it's like, that is how people show up online. Like, no one is really going to show the actual low moments. And it's not because I didn't want to. It was just like a very personal thing that I was like, I don't really want to talk about this online. But I'm showing that as proof that like, we're always trying to outdo somebody else's highlight reel when people don't even realize like there's actually things that are happening on the back end behind the scenes that people are not showing. And I'm always going to be real about things that are happening and telling you guys little stories like in my podcast episodes about things that I have been through or little moments and things that I've overcome. Like that, to me, I'm showing you that my life is not just rainbows and sunshine and candy and I live this amazing life and I work with these brands and I do these cool things. Like I also have low moments that have now made me into who I am today. Like I would not have started this podcast or even done content or any of the things that I've done if I didn't go through certain things, because it's made me into who I am today. And so when you are constantly chasing this high of like, oh, this person started a business, now I got to do that. Or this person started posting on TikTok, now I need to do it as well. Like focus on yourself, because what is meant for you is not going to miss you. So in order to get to that part of life where you are focused on yourself and not the crowd, you need to be so well disciplined and realize like, first of all, discipline is not about perfection. It's literally just about continuing to go and show up even if you fall off. There have been weeks where I don't go to the gym every single day and I beat myself up for it. And then I'm like, girl, you had a busy week. You get back up and next week you try again. There was a week, a couple of weeks ago where I filmed a YouTube vlog where it was 3 to 4 days running around in New York, going to an Apple event, going to Emma Grade's book tour, going to a thing with Macy's. Like I had a million different things going on. And that entire week I couldn't go to the gym. Of course, I got my steps in New York. I was walking all over, but I didn't get to go to the gym, which is what I wanted to. And guess what? The following week, Monday morning, I went. Tuesday I went, maybe Wednesday I didn't go, Thursday I did, whatever. It's like the following week I picked back up again, and that is discipline. That is something that cannot be taught. It's literally like having that dog in you, which is a podcast episode that I did record a couple of months ago, but it's like you need to have that dog in you. Like just because one week you fall off does not mean that now I have to start from scratch completely all over again, or now I'm not going to get to where it is that I want to be. No, you literally fall, dust yourself off, get back up, and keep doing it again. Because that is when you realize you are your own biggest competition. There should be no crowd. There should be no shadow behind you. It's literally you and only you. Look yourself in the mirror, decide who do you want to be, and then show up as that person every day. Even if you fall off, even if you have a low moment, even if you have an off day, even if it's raining or you don't have your favorite outfit to wear to the gym, or you don't have the best camera, the best computer, whatever it is, you get up and you try and you work with what you have. Number 3 is consistency is the unfair advantage that nobody wants to talk about. So this basically means that when you show up, even when you don't feel like it, like for example, posting a video even if you don't feel like it, studying even when you don't feel like it, showing up to the gym even if nobody is watching, building something even if you are not getting paid for it, or starting a business and there is no audience or there is no applause. Like that is where most people are going to tap out. Like we've mentioned, that is where most people are going to give up, because a lot of people want external validation. A lot of people want that instant gratification. They want the 1,000 followers as soon as they post a video. They want the $10,000 in a day from their Shopify page, from launching a business. They want all of these different things, but the bar is not as high for other people as you think it is. The real thing with success, and like I've really noticed this as I've gotten older and as I've watched more interviews from people that I really look up to and role models, and as I've consumed more content about creatives and all these different kinds of people, is that success actually is just being the person who's going to keep showing up long enough until you can finally get it and see it and receive it. For example, Doechii is a really great example. She has such a cool story, and she has a YouTube channel where she documented her journey, where she got fired from her job and she was like, I want to be a singer, a rapper, I want to be a creative, I want to do all these different things. When she was documenting this journey, like, little did she know that just years later she would be winning awards for it, that people would be playing her song on the radio, she would be trending on TikTok and all these different things, and she would be sitting in the same rooms with the people that she looked up to and that she admired. And it's like, she documented this journey on YouTube and all of the ups and downs and all the things she went through. And it's like, she literally stayed in long enough until she was finally able to get to the result that she wanted. And it's the same thing with so many other entrepreneurs and content creators and people. It's literally about how long are you going to stay in the game until it happens? How long are you going to keep showing up even when there is no applause, even when no one is giving you the pat on the back or seeing the late nights or the early mornings or the grinding days? Like, how long are you going to keep showing up? Because success, it's not always going to reward the smartest person in the room, the most talented. It's going to reward the people that are the most consistent, that are putting in the most reps, that are doing the most work. And here's the other thing about doing work. We don't know what is going to be the thing that's going to get us to where we want to be. We don't know what is that step that's going to skyrocket everything for us. What is that thing we need to do that's going to pivot us to where we want to be? But that is the beauty of life, is that we don't know what we don't know. And the more that you put in the reps, the more that you try and fail and get back up again, that genuinely gets you closer to where you want to be, more than not trying at all, more than giving up. And that's the thing, is you will never know where you could go or where you could be or who you could become if you never try. Like, I would rather keep going for years and years and years doing the thing it is that I love and that I'm passionate about, knowing that there could be some kind of end result. And maybe it's not the end result that I imagined or that I envisioned or that I always journaled about and dreamed of, but maybe it's something that's even better. And that's the thing that scares a lot of people, is if we don't get the exact thing it is that we want, we're like, okay, we shouldn't have done this, or I knew this wasn't going to work, or we start to cast all this doubt on ourselves. But it's like, maybe it's better. Maybe it's going to be even cooler than we imagined. Maybe you are going to learn a lesson that's so big and so strong that you could have never even imagined or even been prepared for. But when you really sit down with yourself and then look back at all the things you've been through in the past, you're going to be like, wow, all of these dots ended up connecting and got me to where I am today. And it reminds me of this quote from Steve Jobs, which he says in his Stanford commencement speech that I love. Like, whenever I'm feeling down or whenever I'm on a walk or I just want something to listen to pick me back up, Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech, I think it's from 2004, is so good. And he has this famous quote, which is like, you can't connect the dots looking forward, only backwards. And it cannot be more true, because you obviously, looking forward, don't know what is going to be the right step. But when you get to the future version of yourself, you can look back and be like, oh my God, like this and this and this happened and it got me to this thing, or these things happened and it led me to here. But it's like, you don't know that going forward, which is why you just have to put a million steps forward and see what is going to work, because one day you're going to look back and be like, wow, like that is what led me to where I am today. And so I want that to be your homework. I want you guys to go and listen to the Steve Jobs commencement speech, because it is really, really brilliant. And just remember, like, being consistent, that is the thing that most people do not want to do. That is what people don't want to talk about. They want to just show the pretty things of social media, but it's like, put in the reps, put in the work, and I swear to you, you are getting closer to reaching whatever it is that you want. But stop being so focused on the end goal and like detach yourself from that result and just put in those reps. Before we get into the next tip, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, and that is Valdez Agency. If you're new here, Valdez Agency is the media company that I founded to help ambitious creators, students, and young professionals actually get access to opportunities and real conversations about building something meaningful and going after your dream life. If you're a creator and you want brand deals, education, and a community that wants to see you win, then Valdez Agency is the place for you, and it is absolutely free to sign up and join, to apply and be in our creator community. All you have to do is visit thevaldezagency.com. You can also rate our podcast, Booked, Busy, and Building, after you're done listening, or even right now, if you enjoy the episodes either on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Booked, Busy, and Building Podcast, which posts the full episodes. Make sure you're also signed up for our weekly newsletter, Spill the Success, which has all kinds of resources and new drops towards mindset, career, creator economy, business, and more. And lastly, follow Valdez Agency on Instagram so you never miss anything that is going on, including our book club that is hosted virtually on Fable, where we read books monthly on self-development, mindset, and more, plus our newly launched broadcast channel, which is solely on our Instagram. Reminder again that all of this is free and everything is linked in the show notes, because trust me, we are building something big with Valdez Agency and we would love for you to be a part of it. So let's get back into the episode. The last and final tip for this episode is deciding to just do it is the hardest and most powerful thing that you can do. So most people are always going to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect this, the perfect that, but there is never a right time. There's never a right moment. You're never going to have all the tools you need or the supplies or the resources or the framework or the structure or the routine. Like, we are never going to have the thing it is that we want to get us to where we want to be, which is why being scrappy or working with what you have and using your environment to the fullest is the best that you can do. When I decided I wanted to be a content creator, I literally used my phone to film YouTube videos. They were so bad, I have them all privated now, but I would use my phone. I would go on vacations and I would record on there, and then I would edit it on iMovie afterward and airdrop all of the clips to my computer. And that was literally what I did to get my YouTube videos up and running. Then years later, I saved up for a camera that I got on sale during Black Friday because I refused to pay it in full price. And that is the camera that I'm literally using right now to record this podcast episode, to record my YouTube videos that I take with me on vacation and to different events and all over the world. And it's like, that small investment definitely changed my life, but I worked with what I had and I used my phone. Same thing with first posting on TikTok. I did not know what a media kit was. I didn't know how to write an email. I was just like, I'm just going to wing it and try it. I DM'd a bunch of brands every day to try to get PR packages. I did so many different things to try and to just put myself out there. And it's like those little moments where you are literally being super scrappy and you're trying, that is always going to get you farther than most people. Because a lot of people, like I said, they want to wait for the right tools or the right moment or that person to save them. But it's like you literally need to just do that yourself. And you are already going to be ahead of most people by just doing the thing and trying. Like, instead of waiting, you're already 5 steps ahead of this person because they haven't even got to the step 2 yet and you're already on step 7. So there is this mindset that I feel like we all need to start really embodying, which is just like, be delusional, be so optimistic, and think, what is the best that could come from this? Because I feel like so many of us are very like, what is the worst scenario? There's so many things that can go wrong from this. And I am guilty of that myself, but start thinking like, what is the best thing that can come from this? What can I learn from this? What could come from this that could actually be so cool and life-changing? And that is why I say deciding to just do something is always going to be one of the hardest things, because you do not know what the outcome is going to be. But it can be the most powerful thing because you also don't know what that outcome could be. Like, we can look at that in 2 different ways. What is the outcome? It could be good, it could be bad, it could be in the middle. We do not know. But it's like, that's why it's so hard but so powerful at the same time. So it's not about putting in this insane amount of work and like outworking everybody around you and staying up all day and all night and putting in all these all-nighters or doing all these crazy things. Like, you literally just need to keep pushing forward and being even a percentage better than who you were yesterday, and stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop looking for something to be the thing that's going to get you out. Stop just being so attached to these results or this dream or this goal, and focus on who you are right now and what you can do starting today to get that needle moving. The more reps that you put in, the more you are closer to getting to where it is that you want to be. The more you fail, the more you dust yourself back up and try again, the more that you, again, are closer to that goal. But it literally starts with deciding, I am just going to do it. I am just going to try. I'm just going to post the video. I'm just going to send the email. I'm just going to apply for the job. Just do it. The more that you put that mindset on and you put that cap on with whatever it is that you are doing, I promise you, like, life is really going to change. Life is going to up and up for you, and so many things are going to start to come into fruition and come into your lap. And it's just like what I said in my Booked, Busy, and Building check-in, which is that when I detached myself from wanting to make money so bad and wanting to be this money magnet, like when I detached myself from wanting finances to be everything, I started getting more opportunities. I started getting the things that I wanted, and I started getting the emails and the brand partnerships and the opportunities because I was just focusing on what I love, which is posting content and having fun and editing and working with cool brands, even if it was a gifting opportunity. Like, just me showing up and having fun and doing what I love got me to now being in this point years later where social media is a big part of my main income, and I go to cool events every single week. Like, I literally got an email today from Macy's that was like, we have an event this week, do you want to come? I got another email earlier this morning that was like $1,000 paid opportunity for a TikTok. Like, I cannot make this up. I have built up my dream life, and I still have many more things left to do and a lot more things left that I want to accomplish, but I am proud of myself and where I am today and how I've gotten myself to where I am today. But it's literally because I failed so many times. I've tried so many different things. I've gotten up, I've fallen, I've gotten up again, and I've learned from those lessons. And like I said, that is why I'm able to talk like this, and I started a podcast and did all this stuff because I have failed so many times, and I've still gotten up and I've tried again. And in those moments when you don't know if you should keep doing that thing, or you don't know if you should keep trying, that is when you need to keep trying the most. Decide that you are just going to do it because you never know what the outcome could be. Thanks for tuning in to Booked, Busy, and Building, where we keep it real, stay growing, and are always showing up for ourselves. Remember that you're not behind, you're in the middle of becoming, so keep building what matters, and the life you want is already yours. And until next time, stay booked, stay busy, and keep building.